What is up, guys? Welcome back to Once Upon a Time, and today we're going to be doing a 2-model shoot with these great people. Let's get into it. All right, guys, I'm here with the models. Why don't you guys introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your modeling experience and what the vibe is for today's shoot.
Hi, my name is Katherine Harrington. I've been a model for 3.5 years in New York. I've worked with Netflix, Amazon, Audible, Cosmo, 17, Farm Rio. Sorry. And the vibe for today's shoot, I feel like it's Crash by David Cronenberg. That's the vibes I'm getting.
Hi, I'm Carson Magnuson. I modeled for a few years back in the day. Now I'm retired. Yeah, you know, still getting into it a little bit. And about the vibe, America's like,
that's not what I said, but okay. Okay.
Let's get into it. All right, so we have this little plastic backdrop. I'm not sure that it looked pretty cool. So we're gonna try to, you guys look like the Addams Family.
Like in a good way or like a bad way?
In a good way, yeah. Take a little step to your left.
Which person doing which?
Both of you taking a step to your left. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Okay, cool. Let's start off here. So for this video, I want to do something a little bit different and actually give you some tips on what I do to make my photos more engaging when I'm shooting with 2 or more models. The first thing I think about is asymmetry and symmetry, and more specifically, how you can break symmetry to tell more engaging photos. So in this case, I had a tall model and a shorter model, which already breaks that symmetry thing, and it makes for very engaging photos because the contrast is already embedded within the photos. I want you guys to be touching this with your whatever part. Maybe put your hands too, like, yeah, stuff like that. But maybe not, because I want to see your face. So maybe just squish your faces kind of like that. Yeah, and
like
try to stay,
like
try to stay together kind of situation here. Another thing that I use in all my photo shoots to make it more interesting or just have a little, you know, pizzazz about them is props and interactivity. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, whenever you think of a photo, you only have one frame to work with. We don't have the privilege as photographers to have a 1-hour-long movie about this relationship between these two people. We just have one frame. So what is the best way to showcase the emotion or what we're trying to convey in one image? And in my opinion, that is props most of the time. Sometimes it can be makeup, it can be the model itself, it can be a lot of things. But in this specific case, I really wanted to focus on the props, specifically the plastic that we're using here. Now, you know, you go to the plastic store or you go to the grocery store and you see that they have grocery bags and you have fish trapped in plastic. So we already inherently think of plastic as something that holds things inside, whether captured or whether free to go. And I think it works in this relationship because it almost feels like they're maybe forced to be together or there's some tension in the relationship. And so having one behind the paper and one in front of the paper makes it seem like there's that relationship going on. Now, it also allows for fluidity whenever you're taking photos. Your models feel more comfortable whenever they're able to play with something, specifically if they're not used to being models or they don't do modeling full time. This is just something they wanted to do for fun. It's always good to have a prop because it's easier for them to get used to movement and get used to doing things that they're used to. For example, holding a plastic bag or, you know, they almost have this barrier of, oh, I'm behind the plastic, I'm not as exposed. Because being in front of a camera feels very exposed, right? And so having that element of a prop almost takes the attention away from them in their head, and it makes the photo, I think, better. So take that into account. No jokes. If you can start kissing her cheek or something if it makes you feel better. All right, I'm just getting here all the angles. That's good, Kat, open your eyes. Nice, nice. All right, you can kiss now. Always keep the motion going in your photo shoots. Make sure they're moving, laughing, whatever you're trying to convey in this scenario, make sure they keep moving around and you keep taking the photos because eventually a banger will come around when you least expect it. So just keep shooting. Just move your wrist over there, yeah. Towards the window. Yeah. Fit in there. Maybe squeeze a little bit to your right. Now, one of my favorite things to do when I'm taking portraits of 2 people or more, or even one, is to work with negative space and shapes. Now, negative space and shapes are something you see in everyday photography, but we normally don't focus on it. So silhouettes are a great example of this. In this case, I had this huge window and I just knew when I put that plastic in front of it, it was gonna look extremely cool. Something about their body shapes almost being sucked in, almost looks like now they're stuck together. Now we're telling a story through these photos, right? We had them when they didn't want to be together, there was some tension. Now they're here, they came to the conclusion. They're stuck together, but they actually want to be there. It's something that you should think about in your photos. You guys tell us like a highlight from your career, modeling or non-modeling related?
Modeling related. I did a little campaign for Klarna. That was cool. But they had like this dog, and the whole reason I got the I got the job was because the dog liked me. So I was like, all right, bet. And he like basically had the same color fur as my hair.
One of the coolest modeling jobs that I did was a Netflix job where they hired me to be a prop manager. So it was like a modeling job, but I was acting during it. And so like I had just watched Squid Games, and when I walked onto set, they had the doll from the Squid Games show, which I thought was really cool. They had that and like Bridgerton and The Witcher, and then they had the bike from Stranger Things. But that job was really cool. I had a crane like moving around me the whole time, and then they had this like, yeah, and then they had like fake snow and stuff. I'm in it for literally a minute, but it was really, really fun. It paid really well. I mean, it paid really well.
Now, power dynamic and roles are another thing that I use whenever I want to enhance my photos. This is not just a male and female relationship that we want to show off. We want to show off what kind of relationship this is. In this case, I wanted to show that the man cares for the woman and she is almost very dramatic. She wants to be in that position where maybe she's not the one carrying him in that sort of way. But it's also cool to switch it up, and that's where the dynamic power change comes in, right? Because you don't always want to have one person doing all the power moves. So I had them switch between the front and the back of the plastic to make sure that the story I wanted to tell was there without compromising, without trying to fit into any sort of role. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to follow Kat and Carson on Instagram. Here is their social medias. Thank you so much for 2,600 subscribers. And next time I see you, I will be eating a whole bottle of lotion live on YouTube. See ya.